mods. You can put on suppressors, different muzzle brakes, different types of clips, different magazine. You can different new receivers, different stocks, different scopes, different reticles. Yeah, pipe weapons. You can chamber them, so you can chamber it with a bolt action receiver for 308 rounds, or you can chamber it for semi-auto fire for 38 rounds. Yep. You can change the receiver to be semi-automatic, burst action, fully automatic. You can put on suppressors on anything, muzzle brakes on anything. You can have... Not only that, but you can change the barrel, you can shorten the barrel, lengthen the barrel, have a regular sized barrel. You can put on a better receiver to receive armor piercing rounds and shit, or a more powerful receiver that has a better velocity to the rounds. You can put on a light receiver for quieter. They are, what depends on what you're shooting.
Honey, isn't that the dog?
They are hit scan. You can definitely, like, they also have accuracy drop off. Like, if you shoot at an enemy that's really far away, it won't instantly hit it. It'll take, like, a few milliseconds. And there's no shot forgiveness. Like, right now, I have a bolt-action pipe pistol, and there's also legendary modifications. So, like, this one is an instigating pipe pistol, so enemies with full health take double damage. You can put in explosive rounds. Yeah, I have an explosive. So there's this one that's it's a 45 caliber submachine gun, like a Tommy gun. It's called the Spray and Pray. It only costs 2,500 caps, but what it is it's a quick eject drum magged, suppressed, lengthened barreled explosive round submachine gun. It's a drum mag to make it bigger. It ejects quicker, and then it has a lengthened barrel for better accuracy, and it has suppressed fire, and it has glowing and the iron sights on it glow for better visual. And then like you can dismantle guns for like springs and aluminum to repair your armor and to make new weapons and shit, and to like upgrade your weapons with better receivers and shit. And then there's this one gun that I got that's just, it's a combat shotgun with a drum mag with explosive rounds. And there's like all these, so like there's like hunting rifles, combat rifles, pipe rifles, sniper rifles, all kinds of different rifles. There's an anti-material rifle, which is just a 50 BMG.
About a company president who is a dinosaur.
Like pricks on me again.
What we do.
You know what always gives you excerpts of the book? My favorite one isn't that whatever the dinosaur's name was?
I have no idea. They do have like this is so in this timeline, right? So when the nuclear bomb was developed, like that's where the timeline differs. So instead of using it just for war, like we dropped the bombs and then we used it for energy, so everything is nuclear powered. Yeah, so there was no like later cultural renaissance or anything. So everything's like still old music and shit. Yeah, music from the 50s and shit. I'll be right back.
That's it, Bubba.
Oh, you have the cutter?
Yeah. I need you to move Frunkin. I found quite possibly the best, worst book ever. You remember Big Gay Pikachu, the Pokemon card? Big Gay Pikachu, the Pokemon.
Fucking reach this.
It's a giant hollow foil Pikachu.
Oh, yeah.
Card. Because I looked it up to show images of it to people.
Are you talking about the new one, the Gigantamax Pikachu?
Yes.
The holofoil Gigantamax
Anyway,
one that's worth like $200?
Let me finish. Because of that, you know how Amazon will give you products with the same keywords? It was a book, a Harlequin romance novel titled "A Billionaire Dinosaur Forced Me to Be Gay."
Yeah, no, I think that's by the same author by,
Apparently he has a string of books about gay dinosaurs.
Yeah, he also has a book about a gay space cowboy that, falls in love with a butt, and it makes his butt gay.
I don't think that's...
Mom, let me see your phone for a second.
Would you finish cutting for it's cold?
I'm getting 2 or 3 pieces, FYI.
Andrew,
What?
Dominica's charger cord, please.
No!
I don't know if it's by the same author, but that's definitely similar.
The same genre, which is mockingly gay.
Thank you.
It's the year 2014, and dinosaurs run the world. Ever since they strategically used the stock market to covertly take control of the world's government. That's literally the excerpt from the book.
I'm in the Dino Squad.
Oh no! Please never do that again.
Got covered with some sticky ooze that changed my DNA.
Oh no!
Okay, that's...
I'll keep my cool while other kids play after school. I turned into a prehistoric hoe.
You really just changed one word in that song and ruined the entire... Even the worst part is the prehistoric goof thing is actually a part of the song. You tell the rest, Patrick.
It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but with dinosaurs.
Patrick ruined Dino Squad.
That was a pretty good show.
It was
Until
not,
today.
actually. But... What?
What, you didn't like the Velociraptor dude with the fancy tuxedo?
No, I prefer Velociraptor.
Alright, I'm here. Are you there? It's a pretty fun game. All these different enemy types, so yeah.
Velociraptor, right, Wendy?
Country gets stuck in the 50s.
Wisdom thing.
Cars are designed like they were in the 50s and shit. But, you know, they're nuclear powered. Mm-hmm. Nuclear fusion cells. That's what everything runs on. Yep, nuclear fusion cores and nuclear fusion cells. Pocket-sized nuclear reactors.
Why would you build
Yeah.
a slave
Yep.
prison in the middle of the desert? It just doesn't make sense.
Himself, he's not sure. These are rumors, but he's told me that if I want to know more, I need to go over the sand dunes to try and find the nomads who have better insight into what this.
But yeah, after that, like after the bombs dropped, there was all this like revolutionary shit technology. FYI, this game will make you crave Coca-Cola because the only soda other than like regional sodas are Nuka-Cola.
They gather at oases, isolated water springs from underground aquifers.
The lore in this game is really heavy.
That talks to a nomad tribesman.
One of the only places, so one of the main things that happened is China took over a lot of different places. And there's a fight between, yeah, they expanded, I think they took Russia.
Once a desert city called
Yeah.
founded in the mid-century as a trading post for exotic goods.
Well, they tried to invade Russia, and so what happens also is that there was a battle for Alaska between us and the Chinese because the Chinese wanted to take the land because there was like a lot of really good resources there.
The wealthiest city in the Mother area of Africa.
And so there's the battle for Anchorage because China took a lot of Alaska,
But how to
and we fought them back at Anchorage.
gold from desert bandits?
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Whenever warring
This is all beforehand.
would come in, all the people from the city would
And then,
camels,
oh yeah, so then after like the war for Anchorage, like a few decades later,
secure think of. And so that's why
they don't know who started it, but bombs were dropped on the U.S. and we assumed it was China. And China had nuclear subs sent here to launch nukes onto D.C., Pennsylvania, Boston, and shit like that all along the East Coast. And so we dropped bombs on China, and then everyone else sent all their nukes everywhere. And most of the survivors were either turned into ghouls or were survivors from these things called vaults, made by this multi-billion-dollar international robot company called Robco. Made by a man named Mr. House, Robert House, and he yeah, he was he's like one of the main people, one of the main players in New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas. No, it's after 3 and before 4. Yeah. Oh yeah. I just saw these warring factions.
Imagine if you found that. Something that's worth estimated to be $70 million today.
I don't know all the details, but
Could this be the site of a secret genetic lab?
there's a lot of crazy shit that happened, and not only that, but, you know, so the bulk of soldiers fighting in wars, instead of being people, were robots now. Right before the bombs dropped, made by Robco, who didn't just sell to America, he sold to international. Yeah, but, you know, as America being the richest, and having Robco be from America, we had more access to it. And, there's still all these, like, dope-ass robots around, but they've been fried from the radiation, so they're, like, super hyper-aggressive. And then there's all these warring factions. So you have shit like the Brotherhood of Steel, which are people who believed that the bombs dropping were our punishment for advancing technology to the point where humans couldn't control it. Yeah, like, this is what happens when technology gets out of hand, and they go around, like, liberating technology from people. And trying to fight the other factions. And then you have the Enclave, which are, for some odd reason, my favorite faction. Even though they're all assholes and they're all evil, for the most part. They're the remnants of the U.S. government. But also, they're not just like the they're not just like the government. They want a militaristic government. So a martial government. Yeah. And then you have the biggest faction, the NCR, the New California Republic, which is like a new government that came out of California and quickly took over the entire East, or the entire West. California, Washington, Utah, all the way to Arizona. And then Fallout New, all the way... In New Vegas, they had just established, like, in Arizona, like, a few decades prior. Yeah. Nevada and Arizona. But they made their progress was halted by the Legion, by Caesar's Legion, which are a bunch of fucking ridiculously strong melee people that are basically, you know, the Roman Legion, but new. They came from east and conquered all the way west. They started from, I think, like, from Tennessee all the way west. All the way to Arizona. All the way to Arizona and Nevada, and the NCR fight them. And that's what New Vegas is about. But also in New Vegas, there's two other options. You can choose the NCR, right? You can choose the Caesar's Legion, or you can choose Mr. House, who's the ruler and, like, the protector of Vegas. Because before the war, he put, like, anti-nuclear weapons around Vegas. Basically, like, Patriot missiles and shit. To shoot down... Yeah, to shoot down anything that came near Vegas. And it's the only place free of radiation in, like, all of America. Yeah, that's crazy. And you can ally with him in his robot army, or you can ally with yourself by allying with this guy called Yes Man so that you can rule Vegas under a free Vegas. And then you have other factions like the Gunners, which are like a highly militaristic raider gang. And then you have your run-of-the-mill raiders with all their different factions just based on who their captain at their camp is. And then in this game you have people like the Minutemen, who are, you know, they just protect at a moment's notice. They're here to just to defend the people. Yeah. They use laser muskets. Yeah, there's laser weapons in this game that are powered by fusion cells as ammunition. Yes. There's a plasma gun, and then there's the alien ray gun. The aliens are a whole fucking big deal in this game. Not like main story big deal, but like side story big deal. There was an alien invasion before the bombs dropped, and the space race was just a thing to figure out what the Zetans wanted. Because, you know, the alien race in this game is called the Zetans, and all the governments banded together to do the space race by competing against each other, but really it was just to get to people into space to try and protect Earth from the aliens. And you can find signs of their invasion. And in 3, you get abducted, and you find someone from feudal-era Japan who's still alive on the... Yeah, he was frozen on the ship in a stasis pod.
A clue might lie in the history of this area.
Let me look up exactly, because they even say, like, when he's from. Yeah.
Dollars of Iron Age treasure has been discovered in the immediate area.
Toshiro Kago. Toshiro Kago is from Japan, born sometime before 1562, and participated in many battles for the Oda clan.
Is said to lie in this
He's currently the oldest known entity in Fallout.
Robin Hood is based on real 13th century events. Tax rebels rise up against England's hated
He's from 1562. He was a samurai for the Oda clan.
But John's cruel exactions have accrued into a vast fortune, and in 1216,
Sometime before 1562.
to flee from his rebellious barons, John packs his gold and jewels into a wagon that, as he makes his escape, will sink and be lost forever in mudflats close to the spots seen in the satellite image.
Yeah. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg in terms of lore.
estimated to be $70 million today.
There's so much to this game. It's incredible. It's a lot like Elder Scrolls, but more like centered and down to earth and understandable.
But archaeological investigation reveals that the holes have not been dug in recent times.
It turns out that these holes date to way before King John's time.
So the thing in this game, right,
By people who were
is there's this place called the Institute, the Michigan Institute of this game's equivalent of the Michigan Institute of Technology.
These holes date
Michigan, MIT, the Michigan Institute of Technology.
beneath the 433 hollows are 30-foot deep shafts, chambers, and tunnels
I don't know.
dug by prehistoric
No, it is
miners
Massachusetts.
in search
Yeah,
of
Massachusetts, because it's Boston, because this game takes place in Boston. But in this game, it's the CIT, because there is no Boston. It's they separated back into 13 states.
Over 4,000 years before the notion of fact.
So it's the Commonwealth Institute of Technology,
This is one of the early foundations.
CIT, and they're making these like synthetic humans that are like, they have brains and organic shit, but it's completely man-made. And I've been working on them since before the war. And they'll kidnap like leaders of different like bandit clans or of different like government powers and replace them with a synth version of them so that no one ever knows that they've been replaced with a synth, and then they control them from behind the scenes. It's literally, they kidnap the person, take their DNA, and then make a synthetic version of them that they can control.
Couldn't dig any deeper. It became a burial site.
Yeah.
So it started off as sacred.
Completely terrifying shit. Like, your sister could just go out for groceries one day and then come back the next day and she's a fucking synth under control by the boogeyman.
Part mine, part city of the dead.
Diamond City surplus is where you sell
And there was this,
They're dead here.
Massachusetts was ruled by a government
cause trouble.
before the CIT attacked.
The Saxons called
And,
Grimm's
CIT sent one of their first Gen 3 models.
the ancient god of war.
Which are basically humans, but instead of being built to blend in, they're built for killing people.
Wait a few minutes, let brother finish eating.
And they kill all of the government leaders.
The god of war,
And then the Brotherhood of Steel, after you kill, so basically the storyline of this game is
in our Woden's Day or Wednesday.
some guy kidnaps your son from the vault you're frozen in. Because FYI, all of those vaults, they weren't meant to hold humans and keep them safe from the bombs. They were all social experiments that are way too illegal to do without, like, being secret.
Depict a Neolithic version.
Like, literally, one of them was Vault 69. It was a vault with 100 women and 1 man. And they wanted to see, yeah, that's legitimately, like, canon lore. And there was Vault 68. Well, everyone died. Almost all the vaults everyone died in. Because it was massive rioting. And then Vault 68 was 100 men and 1 woman.
Just 20 of the hundreds of Grimm's Graves prehistoric pits have been fully explored. But archaeologists are just
Oh, I'll look it up for you.
finding what may be a Stone Age Valhalla, filled with
Vault
the
69
remains of
wiki.
warriors sent here by the Valkyries.
Work that's been done so far, and the artifacts that have been found are really just pieces.
There's no
to a
in
much
detail
bigger
lore.
jigsaw puzzle we may never know what went on here in the past.
Still to come. From space, a site
It was, no, I'm sorry, it contained 1,000 women and 1 man, but it is not officially canon yet.
and a mystery cloud attacks LA.
But Vault 68 was.
Nobody had any idea what was causing this, and the government
Vault 68 was 1 woman and 1,000 men.
Use the potty. Really use the potty.
And then Vault, the one you come from, Vault 111, is testing the effects of unknowingly putting someone under cryogenic stasis and reviving them hundreds of years later to see what would happen. But there was a riot in the vault between Vault security and the scientists of the vault. And so they just left the people on ice for like 200 years, and then you wake up and someone steals your fucking son and kills your wife, or your husband, whichever, depending on what character you choose. And you're finding the man responsible, and it turns out he's working for the Institute. And then you get to choose your faction, whether you work with the Brotherhood of Steel, the Minutemen, the Railroad, or the Institute. Oh, yeah. But the Railroad, what they do is they help synths who escape from the Institute who just want to live normal lives because they gain sentience, which often happens with synths. And they help them escape the Institute and prevent the Institute from ever tracking them again, and lift them out in the world so that they can live normal, healthy lives. Mm-hmm.
Pepperoni, cheese, or cheese. Only $7. Pizza, pizza. You hate coming home to a dark house and leaving lights on all night.
But the thing is, the Minutemen and the Railroad, they have the least amount of resources. Like with the Brotherhood of Steel, you get like super god tier power armor. You get all of these like free fusion cells and free access to laser weaponry and shit. And you get the Predwin, which is a flying war blimp. And the run robot that won the Battle of Anchorage, Liberty Prime, which is a giant nuclear-powered nuke shooting. Basically, you know the NFL, the football guy from Fox NFL? The robot football guy.
Free shipping. Bionic Spotlight is backed by our 5-year
Okay, well, it's a giant robot dude
now. You can double
that can shoot,
get a second Bionic Spotlight.
except he shoots lasers. He's like 100 feet tall, shoots lasers from his eyes that explode, and fires nukes out of his backpack.
2734 or go to bionicspotlight.com. That's 1-800-460-2734
Yeah.
or order online at bionicspotlight.com.
And then with the Institute, you get access to all of the greatest technology in all of Fallout, and all of these like deadly synths and shit, like all the Institute coursers, which are like the War Machine synths. And you get access to all this high-tech shit, and free clean drinking water, and free clean food. And one of the goals of the Institute is to recreate the life on Earth synthetically, like gorillas and like dogs and shit, that either went extinct or got so irradiated that they're no longer recognizable. And with the Minutemen, all you have is like, you're basically starting from scratch. Because moments before, like a few days before you woke up from the vault, the Minutemen were nearly wiped out by a gang of raiders.
Abnormalities in the skies of Porter Ranch in California's Aliso Valley.
Oh yeah.
There are things around us that we can't see with our own eyes. They're there.
And Preston Garvey might be the most annoying person in video game history,
Things beyond our color vision.
which is one of the leaders of the Minutemen.
The satellite confirms that something's
He's very fucking irritating. I mean, he's a nice guy. He just,
When you look at the
he won't shut the fuck up about a new settlement.
you see this really concentrated area of brightness, and that indicates there's something really terrifying going on in that area.
Well, so the thing about the Brotherhood of Steel is they're nice. Their main objective in the past was to help people at all costs and provide accessible technology and clean drinking water to all people of the wasteland, regardless of your background or whatever. But now, the kid that you saved from Fallout 3 is the leader because the old elder died or he killed him, whichever one. And now he's highly militaristic and like a fucking asshole.
1,000 people from this area. It's awful.
emergency medical teams test victims' blood.
Turns out there's no evidence.
Well, they don't take away technology. They gather it and then they want to make it like safe for people to use because they don't want another nuclear apocalypse. And they just don't want people tearing each other apart. The original Brotherhood of Steel is like super fucking super honorable and helpful and nice. But under Elder Maxon, they're fucking giant militaristic douchebags. But yeah, there's like a bunch of, so how the perk system in this game works, right, is just like Fallout 3. You have your special, SPECIAL, strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. So your strength makes your, like, it's your raw power, you know, like how much you can carry, your melee attack damage and shit like that. Perception is your weapon accuracy in VATS and in general. And then like how far away you can see things and like how good you are at detection. And then endurance is you know, it's just how fit you are. It's your health and the number of action points it takes whenever you sprint. Basically your stamina. Charisma, you know what charisma is. Better prices, better, yeah, speechcraft. And then intelligence affects the number of XP you gain from enemies, and like being able to hack and shit, and being able to like make mods and shit like that, and do technology and robot stuff. Agility is your reflexes, how high you can jump, how fast you run, and the number of action points that you have, and your ability to sneak. And then luck is luck.
A Senate hearing reveals that over 2 decades, the U.S. military has carried out more than 200 open-air tests of biological agents.
So,
Shockingly, tests of this
alright.
nature haven't only occurred in San
Well, whenever you
Francisco.
get
There have
back,
been hundreds of them in New York.
I'll show you like all the cool different perks that you can equip.
In 1969, President Nixon
Experiments
For anyone
like
else watching, hello.
don't happen anymore.
This is my second
So
character.
It causes us to question what's happening here.
Investigators turn to the satellite data.
Different gases have different emission signatures. And so if you measure at certain wavelengths and frequencies, it allows you to identify what kind of gas it may be.
From space, the infrared spectrometer on the satellite is able to identify the chemical composition of the cloud.
It's gonna kill
It
me.
is
Quiet,
predominantly
Sid.
methane
You're not
gas
talking your way out.
combined with several other toxins.
Nearly 100,000 tons of methane was leaked out into our environment.
They also found benzene and toluene and xylenes, which are toxic, noxious chemicals which cause memory loss, birth defects, they're carcinogens, they're terrible.
To find the mystery cloud source, investigators return to the satellite image.
Please, you gotta help me.
We can readily
This guy's
tell
a
that
synth, and he's gonna kill me.
Oh no.
The trail leads to a natural gas
Hi.
storage
You
plant
saved
in the
my
nearby
life.
Santa Susana
I
Mountains.
can't thank you enough. My kids don't have to grow up orphans.
In
thanks
this
to you.
area, there is a gigantic storage tank of methane gas. And one of these ruptured, allowing for this gigantic leak.
Engineers in protective suits move in to plug the leak and shut the facility.
Nobody even knows the long-term effects for the people that were exposed. It's uncertain what their future health holds.
Please, you gotta help me. This guy's a synth, and he's gonna kill me and replace me and my family.
Oh God.
Won't die because of nuclear fallout. Won't die because we can't grow
He's the synth, and he wants to replace me. Please, please, you gotta believe me. You can't let that thing do this.
It's very Game of Thrones.
Just kill this thing and be done with it.
What? No!
It's done. I need to get out of here.
It's still shaking.
Hey. Excuse me.
Christ, that thing was wearing my face. Why the hell would the Institute want to replace me?
Everything you think you know about achieving the American dream is wrong.
We're making breakfast.
Yes, chef. Chef behind? Thank you, chef. Breakfast service is ready. Is your sous chef a busser too?
Get your wins where you can. Lego with Eggo.
This is a lot of food right here.
You're gonna order that for $10, please.
$12.
$9, please. $12, please. All your pretty places. Is it no?
I'm Dan Abrams. Thanks for watching.
The AEB original series. Court Cam begins now.
Hi everyone, I'm Dan Abrams, and this is Court Cam. First up, we're in Chardon, Ohio, for the sentencing of 18-year-old TJ Lane. A year earlier, Lane showed up at Chardon High School armed with a handgun, went on a shooting spree, killing 3 students and injuring 3 others. Lane offered no motive for the killings and pleaded guilty to 3 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and felonious assault. Now in the courtroom, Lane's day for judgment has finally come. But he isn't done tormenting all the people whose lives he's already destroyed. Watch as he slowly reveals a sinister message to all those in the courtroom.
child stole my baby's life, and he should never be able to do this to anyone ever again.
But Lane coldly smirks and listens to the grieving family members.
You murdered my son, Danny. You are a killer. You're a pathetic excuse for a human being. In fact, you're not even a human being. You don't deserve to be called human. You're a monster.
And finally, when he's given a chance to speak, the so-called monster carries on with his torture of the victims' families. Lane's divine attitude seemingly continues even as he crosses into the sentence that assures he'll never walk the streets again. 3 consecutive life terms. The nightmare that is TJ Lane would disappear into the Ohio Department of Corrections as a special unit for inmates that are likely to be part of violence.
Let him loose in there!
What? What are you talking about, Mother?
20-year-old, it's an old case, but a 20-year-old went to his local high school armed with a gun, killed 3 teenagers, severely wounded 3 others. The day of his sentencing, he wears a shirt that says killer. And then when the family gives their impact statement, the judge talking to him, talking about how bad he hurt their families, he laughs the entire time. And when he's given a chance to speak, he turns around and looks at the victim's family and brought up his right hand and said, "This is the hand that killed all your loved ones. Fuck you and fuck them too." And then the judge sentenced him to say he's never going to see the light of day again.
Okay.
They house him in a special part of the jail that is there to house people who might be victims of violence.
Oh, boo-hoo. Let him.
No. They should be released into the middle of that fucking jail.
That's what I'm saying. He did a fucking crime. Let him fucking...
You think he's Mr. Big Badass? Let him be Mr. Big Badass. Or motherfucker fucks him, literally.
Transferred to a maximum security facility. Already serving 3 life sentences, authorities choose not to charge Lane for the escape.
Security's too good.
Now to Broward County Circuit Court in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where Judge Stephen Zachor is holding bond hearings via closed-circuit TV. This is Julio Torres, who doesn't seem too excited about the proceedings. 24-year-old Torres may look tired because he
Did you plug that tablet up when you brought it back in here last night?
I asked him to, but did he? I made mine out so clear that it was here, and Steve, you plug it out.
Okay, why didn't you do it,
Despite his
though?
microphone being turned off, Torres continues
Because I didn't know he didn't do it.
No, but of course, why would he have to, though, is my point. Why didn't you go ahead and do it to begin with? Was there a particular reason?
Yes.
Need a
I
long
really
stop
don't
on
like
this.
falling on the bathroom floor when
Okay,
it's
then
dark.
when I said, why didn't you do it, that would have been your answer.
But that's not a question you didn't know the answer to.
I've seen you bend down to pick things up, Greg. I didn't know at that particular time you were that dizzy. I wasn't in here.
Ah, yes, a tibia. The greatest of all loot. Yeah, Coast Guard office or something? A lot of hats.
Man, these people are stupid.
Cool.
Go in front of a judge and act like a total moron. And you can say, oh, you're right, I'm going to excuse
Don't think I can
all
fix this.
charges.
Mr. Torres, I can tell you, is there any reason right now I should not hold you in direct criminal contempt for your behavior in the court? Well, the quote you just said, you judge, end quote. Do you have any explanation of why you take something like that?
The judge doesn't entertain his holier-than-thou claim and hands down an additional
Jesus, there's so many frag mines.
Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis.
And a Nika cherry and some vodka.
About new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. So help heal your skin from within and talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent. If your financial situation has changed, we may be able to help.
Still fresh. Unstoppable wash step booster. Downy Unstoppables.
Must there be hell in a healthy breakfast? Say goodbye to the torture of tasteless fiber. Hello, heavenly cashew organic cinnamon biscuits.
Oh, Greg, I got some eggs. I forgot to tell you.
Okay. The fiber keeps hunger at bay. Wake up, Jimkashi.
Now there's a quick way Experian boosts can raise your credit scores.
Experience Boost has my back. It raised my credit score because I paid for streaming services.
Now,
And did you find your sardines the other day?
Yes.
All right.
paying for Netflix, Hulu, and more can boost your credit scores. Download the Experian app now.
Get your taxes done with or without the office visit. Drop in, drop off. Send us a pic of your docs, and a tax pro will do the work. Or file online and get help if you need it. No matter how you choose to file, Block has your back.
As a cement mason, I use the Dove bar because I work with a lot of dust and dirt. Just washing the dirt and the grime off and just bringing you back to you. You see the Dove? That's a Dove bar. Dove cleans effectively, cares beautifully.
This is your opportunity to tell your side of the story. Every homicide leaves behind clues, questions, and the detectives trying to find answers. The First 48, tomorrow at 9 on A&E. Some of America's most chilling crimes that happened in our own backyard. Now, new episodes break down some of these murder cases. We, the jury, find the defendant for cases. All new tomorrow at 10 on A&E.
Next, we go to Fresno, California, in the trial of Joseph Ward. In 2018, Ward was charged with sexual assault, kidnapping, carjacking, and a number of other crimes in the brutal attack of a 25-year-old nanny. Ward pled not guilty, calling it a case of mistaken identity. Even when presented with this surveillance footage from the day of the crime outside the victim's house, Ward claims he's innocent. This is Ward's third sexual assault charge, and if convicted, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. At the trial, he used various ploys to delay the proceedings, frustrating the judge, Christy Culver-Capitan.
As I told you before, it's not time for a dialogue. So, speak through counsel.
How do I get evidence in that I want?
We speak through counsel. You're represented by counsel.
In another move, Ward tried to fire his attorney, and when that didn't work, asked the judge if he could represent himself.
Conduct of the defendant in court gives the court reason to believe that if he was allowed to represent himself, he may cause disruption in the proceedings as he's already done so.
Running out of stall tactics, Ward chooses to testify on his own behalf, hoping his performance will convince the jury of his innocence. But the moment he steps in the witness box, Ward's behavior becomes peculiar. Let's see that again. Ward collapses and remains on the floor for several minutes. Court officials tend to him and he's taken to a hospital, but the cause of his collapse remains a mystery. Ward's collapse doesn't cause
Won't be able to pick this.
Shad not file a complaint against Judge Delahanty, but when asked about the incident, Shad said Delahanty is an excellent judge and he will even vote for him in the next election. As for the defendant, Charles Lewis, who just watched this all go down, the judge releases him on his own recognizance.
Sorry it happened, but the car that I was driving was a race car.
A&E brings you into the wild with the mother nature of all camp shows to witness the most incredible encounters ever captured between animals, nature, and real people like you. Nature Gone Wild, all new, tonight at 10 on A&E.
Ever wonder why your just washed laundry doesn't smell just washed? That's because there's hidden sweat and body soils that cause odors on your clothes. But there's a solution for those secret stinks. Gain Flings laundry packs. Gain Flings has more freshness ingredients compared to bargain liquid detergent.
I really hate VATS in this game. Does not work right for me.
Gain Flings works in all wash cycles, even in cold water. Try Gain Flings and see the difference, or we'll give you your money back.
Ashley Home Store sale and clearance event is was $349, or get 0% interest for 72 months. Ashley Home Store. This is home. Hi, I'm safe. What do we do with our son gone off to college?
What you'll do is claim a tuition tax credit for him, which I can help file. Right here. Come on, let's go. If you're a photographer, these props can be deducted.
Can I run out the Wi-Fi in my son's treehouse?
If that's where you get your freelancing done, then yep.
Thank you!
File with help of an expert, or let an expert file for you. Intuit TurboTax Live.
Fucking cat!
Amazing hair? Dove believes you get amazing results when you get the details right. That's why new Dove Hair Therapy range has selected ingredients so potent they instantly damage hair at a cellular level. 100% smoother hair after first use.
Your dry skin story changes from one day to the next. Try Eucerin Advanced Repair and switch. It doubles your skin's moisture and repairs dry skin over time. So tomorrow could be a different story. Eucerin, recommended and used by dermatologists.
Get ready. Our most popular battery is now even more powerful. The stronger, lasts longer Energizer Max. Want to know what other guys are saying about RexMD.com? This was my first time using telemedicine.
God, dude, what the fuck? Why is everything I do so shitty on this character? You gonna reload? Why is auto reload not a fucking thing? Jesus Christ. And 200 bullets on those motherfuckers. Ridiculous.
Neither did my kids, but they didn't go murder somebody. That ain't no damn excuse.
What?
Her son murdered somebody, and he never had a male figure in his life.
Ah.
In total, the judge sentenced Emmanuel to 40 years in state prison. He won't be eligible for parole until he's 56 years old.
Good morning. Are you Virginia Wagner? I'm Miss Wagner.
Next, we head to Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. The defendant, 85-year-old Virginia Wagner. The charge, reckless driving, driving with a suspended license. The vehicle, a souped-up Dodge Dart.
The world will be
Refused to
shown.
charge, but places most of the blame
Stop right
on
there,
the car
stranger.
itself.
You approach Atom's holy ground.
The car that I was driving,
I'm here because I need your help.
Do you seek division? Have you come to murder?
You don't need to
I'm
be
looking for
driving
someone
anymore
named
either.
Arthur.
Virgil, what do you want with me?
You understand the offer from the Commonwealth is that you would plead guilty to
I just need some information from you.
He has sought refuge.
I know it now. Okay, do you understand though that, do you want to accept that and plead guilty today? Yes, I'm guilty.
Safe scum,
As
baby.
the packed gallery looks on, Wagner finishes up her business. That is,
I just need some information.
He has sought refuge.
Dude, this is an easy speech check, and I have decent charisma and max luck. This should not be a problem at all.
a good Samaritan who gave his name as Mike Evans offered to pay Wagner's fine.
I just need some information.
He has sought refuge.
Hey, bitch, I will blow the space between your eyes all over the fucking wall.
Wagner appreciated the man's generosity, but after initially accepting his money, she later returned the cash, paid the fine herself, bringing
I just need some information.
He has sought
Oh my fucking god, this is an easy speech check, so why is it being so difficult?
Tired of clean clothes that just don't smell
I just
clean?
need some
What if your
He has
clothes
sought
stay fresh
Bitch.
for weeks? Now they can. This towel has already been used, and it still smells fresh. Pour a cap of Downy Unstoppables into your washing machine before each load, and enjoy fresher smelling laundry for up to 12 weeks.
I just need some information.
I see. In truth, this Virgil has caused some concern. Some believe
Very lucky. If I would have felt that, I would have just blown your head off and continued.
though he came to trade with us on a few occasions, we have had little. You can find him southwest of the crater.
The Little Things, rated R, in theaters and streaming exclusively on HBO Max January 29th.
Ashley Home Store's sale and clearance event is going on now. Shotgun room tables starting at just $199, and sofas starting as low as $349. Or get 0% interest for 72 months. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Crust is the most important part of stuffed crust. In fact, the name, Papa John's crust, is made from 6 simple ingredients. 7 if you count all this cheese. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
I'm Morgan, and there's more to me than HIV. More love, more adventure, more community. But with my HIV treatment, there's not more medicines in my pill. I talked to my doctor and switched to fewer medicines with Dovato.
Prescription Dovato is for some adults who are starting HIV-1 treatment or replacing their current HIV-1 regimen. With just 2 medicines in 1 pill, Dovato is as effective as a 3-drug regimen to help you reach and stay undetectable. Research shows people who take HIV treatment as prescribed and get to and stay undetectable can no longer transmit HIV through sex. Don't take Dovato if you're allergic to any of its ingredients, or if you take Dofetilide. Hepatitis B can become harder to treat while taking Dovato. Do not stop Dovato without talking to your doctor, as your hepatitis B may worsen or become life-threatening. Serious or life-threatening side effects can occur, including allergic reactions, lactic acid buildup, and liver problems. If you have a rash and other symptoms of allergic reaction, stop taking Dovato and get medical help right away. Your doctor will take kidney or liver problems, including hepatitis B or C, or if you are your doctor may prescribe a different medicine than Dovato if you plan to be pregnant or pregnancy is confirmed during the first trimester.
Oh my fucking god, are you kidding me? 2 of these little fucking pansies! I swear to god, fuck this game.
So much goes into who I am. HIV medicine is one part of it. Ask your doctor about Dovato. I did.
Live rescue is first on the scene. Every Friday for 3 full hours.
I just need some
He has sought refuge.
Oh, and now you're gonna be doing this bullshit. Oh, fucking wonderful, dude. Fucking wonderful. God, I love this game so fucking much.
I just need some info.
He has sought
You know what?
refuge with you. What do you want with him?
That's my business.
He has what?
I said it's my business.
I do. You will leave at once.
Patrick?
What?
You didn't see it,
What?
Miss
drug trafficking,